UX design is critical for customer acquisition, especially in competitive markets where people have multiple options for the same functionality. Having great design can make a huge difference and take your company to the next level. We'll take a look at how 3 different apps are trying to monetize their audience. Let's take a look at MetaQuest first. All right, so first of all, they're starting with this little call out to see the promotions available as a way to make you discover their subscription. There are other ways inline or with some banners that they're trying to promote their offering, which is also something that you do. Using multiple touch points to promote paid plan is always helpful. You have to strike the right balance between being too spammy but still making sure it's discoverable for people. So on the MetaQuest Plus subscribe page, we can see a clear, visible call to action with a lot of contrast, very important when it comes to conversion. Also the ability for people to share it, also reminding people that they can cancel at any time, very important when it comes to conversion. You can see that this screen is pretty well designed, pretty clean. It's a little bit busy when it comes to the text that you see on the screen, which can increase the cognitive load, which is not necessarily good when it comes to decision. Making sure you clearly outline your benefits in short and concise sentence. As you can see, 1 or 2 line max is always very important when it comes to conversion here. Something that I love is that they are including frequently asked questions. When it comes to making a decision, people will have a lot of questions, and if you're able to answer some of their concerns up front, you're more likely to end up with a purchase. One thing that can help here is also trying to have shorter questions. A good example is, for instance, this Wise app. They're organizing it a little bit by categories, trying to make it very short and concise, so you can see that it's much easier to scan compared to what we were looking at before. All good for the confirm purchase design. Couple of quick notes here and there that it's always great if you already have a payment method to select it by default, which they're probably doing here. MetaQuest will always ask you to enter your PIN. I always lost this PIN. I'm not sure why they have this in place. They could probably use other verification mechanism because it's very hard to remember this extra thing that is on top of the password. The font size here is so small. Meta, you have to fix it. This is probably under the accessibility standard here. Talking about accessibility, let's take a look at what not to do looking at the Mammoth app. Mammoth, am I pronouncing that correctly? At the foundation of UX and great design, you have to make sure your designs are accessible, meaning that you should not use font size that are too small, hard to read. You should not use contrast ratio that are too light. And here you can clearly see that it starts to be very hard to read the text here. There are 12,000 contrast checker available online or as a Figma plugin that you can use. The entry point here is not focusing on benefit at all. It's just mentioning gold. What is gold? Why I should even expand this little entry point here? You always have to make sure to start with benefits first. In terms of visual design, I see that all the time. Very important to have a different color for a call to action that is clickable and a selected state. You can see here the clickable button and the selected state are using the same color. So we want people to press this button. It has to stand out. We have to use either a different color or different treatment to make sure it's visible and not confusing. Another missed opportunity when it comes to anchoring and showing that this is potentially the best deal by showing the percentage off or showing another price that is higher with a strike through. Mentally, it will help to make it feel like this is not such an expensive purchase. Okay, let's take a look at an app that is focusing on visual design a little bit more. This app is called Glovo, by the way, and let's see how they encourage you to subscribe to their paid plan. So their paid plan is called Glovo Prime. Reminds me of something. Same here, no benefits that are visible up front. You can use a secondary line with slightly lower opacity text, still accessible, to really outline the benefit of Glovo Prime and encouraging people to press and discover more. Once we're on the Glovo Prime screen, things are starting to be better. They have a very cool visual design, very engaging, a lot of white space. It doesn't feel like this is too much information. Each benefits contain a title, a description to dive into details a little bit more without using too much text, and a nice illustration to complement the text. So this is overall very well executed. This almost feels like a button and they're drawing your attention to it. You almost want to click it. So that's the only item that could be improved. This is what I was talking about earlier. You can see that they're at least showing you the discount that you'll get if you subscribe for a longer period. You can see that we have a clear call to action that is very visible with a lot of contrast. If you have the opportunity to do it, you should always try to offer Apple Pay or Google Pay to make the purchase more seamless. Here it's adding a ton of extra steps because people have to manually enter their card or add their PayPal account. If they already have their card entered, why not use it as an option? So definitely something that can be improved here. All right, so that's it for today's video. Hope you guys like it. Let me know your thoughts on the comments below. And if you want me to review a specific app or landing page, let me know as well.